Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Bat Around. I'm your host, Paul Valley. Joining me, as always, from Pigtown Sports is Zach Moore, and that's his dog in the background with the squeak toy. Zach, how you doing, man? Missed you the last week.
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. We had opening day for Little League yesterday, and I got a lot of sun, so I'm trying to cover it up with a hat right now because I got burnt to crisp. So did the kids. But all in all, we're doing good, man. We're doing good. O's are playing good baseball. We got a lot to talk about. But how's everything with you?
Everything's good, man. I have not gotten much. I did go out and have like a 2+ hour baseball practice today. And Zach, I am you know that friend that you had when you were growing up who would always dive for everything, even when he didn't need to?
Yeah.
Like there was always that kid. I was never that kid. My next door neighbor was. Today, at 41 years old in baseball practice, I was that guy. Went to
Don't do that.
went to dive for a baseball in center field during BP, didn't catch it, and jammed my arm. Sent a shock through my arm up into my neck. So I'm pretty sure I have a pinched nerve in my neck, and my arm went numb immediately. And I've been dealing with this pinched nerve for a week or so, and so it's been going numb every now and again. This time it went numb for a good bit. And I picked up a baseball, and I was like, man, I hope I can throw this. I went to throw it, and the ball rolled off my fingers and went backwards. And nice. I freaked out for a second, but then I picked up, got a good grip on it, and fired it home and made a good throw.
Nice.
So I was relieved. But, oh, my God, man. Like, what am I doing in practice at 41? What am I doing? Diving for these baseballs.
No, not in practice. That's unacceptable.
Oh my gosh, man! But then, like, you couldn't get me to run after a ball after that. I was like, nope, I'm good, man. I exerted everything I could on that one. But
yep.
Today's show brought to you by Help My Gambling Problem. If you or a loved one has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit helpmygamblingproblem.org for free confidential services. Also brought to you by Warnkin Law. When you need results in Baltimore, you don't play small ball. If you've been hurt in a crash, call 443-RESULTS or visit warnkinlaw.com. That's 443-RESULTS or visit warnkinlaw.com. So, you said it, Zach. Orioles, they're playing some really good baseball right now. This time last week, thank God we didn't have a show. Oh my gosh, thank God we didn't have a show, man. Like, legitimately, Orioles were licking their wounds after getting swept by the Pirates in Pittsburgh to fall to 3-6. It's like, and you just watched the White Sox sweep the Blue Jays, and just not feeling good. Just not feeling good. A client texts me. He's like, "Man, what's going on with the team?" I was like, "I don't know, but hopefully Chicago gives them what they're looking for to get back on track." Sure enough, the Orioles go into Chicago. They sweep them. They come home. They play the Giants. That Friday night game left a lot to be desired, but then they win the last two to win that series. 5 wins in 6 games this week. What were you about to say?
Even the Yankees lost. I mean, at that time when we just got swept, they were what, 8-2?
8-2.
I mean, they were rolling, and now they've lost 5 straight, and we're at a 3-way tie with them in Tampa Bay, who we said it. They are always there. They always linger. We're at a 3-way tie with the Yankees and Tampa Bay for first place.
Yeah, and the thing with the Rays, they did that last year too. Yeah. Remember that they were like 13 games above 500 in mid to late May. Best team in baseball, and then they fell apart and sold. Yeah,
I don't even think they fell apart. They just sold for no reason.
They started playing like 500 baseball for like a pretty extended stretch, and then just sold. You know.
Yeah. Terrible for the sport, in my opinion. Terrible for the sport.
And you know, like the Orioles, they sold. It was kind of like they were kind of hovering, like they were 6-7 games below 500. It's like, should they sell? Should they buy? What are they going to do? And then they sold. And it made sense to sell, and especially when you look at somebody that they got in the Mullins trade, Anthony Nunez, who is dominating out of the bullpen right now. The Orioles pitching staff on the whole is dominating right now. Orioles started this past week, Zach, through 32 1/3 innings in 6 games, allowed just 9 earned runs. The starting staff pitched to a 2.51 ERA. Now, that includes 5 shutout innings from Brandon Young and 6 2/3 innings of 1-run ball from Povich today. Yep. Povich was phenomenal today. He was in command from start to finish today. Yep. They're talking about bringing Dean Kramer up. Did Povich, with what he did coming in relief last Sunday, and then what he did in his start today, did he earn another start for this ball club?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I think so. I mean, you've been waiting for this kind of guy to finally make this turn. If he's going to pitch to it right now, I mean, hell, you got 9 good starts, or maybe 10, 11 good starts out of Cole Irvin. I mean, you ride the hot hand while it's hot. I mean, if he's you know what Dean Kramer's going to give you for another 18 days. Like, why even push the button? You get 2 more starts out of K. Povich, and he gives you that. Why not?
Right. And that's the thing is one of the things that you noticed today. Now in his first outing, 3 walks to 2 strikeouts in 5 2/3. He gave up the 2 runs. He looked good, and he did the Orioles a huge solid in relief after who was it in that start that just was that Bassett? Was that Bassett's second start?
I think so.
Yeah, he came in relief of Bassett and just saved the bullpen. Gabe Povich is as big a reason as any that the Orioles were able to sweep the White Sox because those were all close ball games where you needed your bullpen to be stout. And if you had to use every arm in that bullpen and then immediately go to Chicago and have to play 3 with a depleted bullpen, you're kind of screwed in those 3 games. All 1-2 run ball games. Povich saved the bullpen and therefore saved the start of the season for the club. They sweep the White Sox. They take 2 or 3 from the Giants. They're 8-7, tied in a 3-way tie for first place with the Yankees and the Rays. Again, the Orioles 2.51 ERA from their rotation this past week. They don't look now, but the team ERA 6th in the American League at 3.74. The bullpen ERA, the bullpen that we were all so concerned about, 5th in the American League with a 3.45 ERA. Some notable things here. Rico Garcia, a 0 ERA in 7 games and 6 1/3 innings. Anthony Nunez, 1.17 in 7 games, 7 2/3 innings. Cano, a 2.08 ERA in 7 games, and he hasn't walked a batter yet.
His only run was that broken bat single by Brandon Nimmo.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
Yeah. And then Grant Wolfram, and they were like, his stuff is electric. It's just he's got to be able to find the command. 3 ERA in 6 games, totaling 6 innings. No walks from Wolfram either. Tyler Wells, he's bounced back after those first 3 outings where he gave up a run in each one. 3.72 ERA in 9 2/3 innings. And Albert Suarez, he is a 1.80 ERA in 2 games, 5 innings. It's only 2 games, but he's pitched in some long relief for the Orioles. This bullpen is showing out right now for this ball club.
Yeah, I'm actually looking up to see, because obviously you don't see the stats until the morning, but from what it looks like, what did Philly do today?
They lost.
Okay, so with that, since Yarmo Geraldo went down, the Orioles have the 3rd best bullpen in baseball. They have the 3rd lowest ERA. They have the 2nd most strikeouts. They have the 2nd lowest average. They have the 2nd best FIP and the 2nd best xFIP since Yarmo Geraldo went down on April 2nd. That's a 10-day span. I mean, that's fairly good. And like you said, you spouted off all the numbers right here. These guys are performing, and this is what we thought this was a weak spot on this team. And right now, I mean, we saw the starters. We thought it was completely opposite of what we thought. We thought the starters were going to carry this team for a good bit because we thought they were going to have a good season. They haven't. The bullpen's carried it. And I'm here for it.
Yeah. I'll tell you, man. And that's the thing. We knew that Nunez looked like something. Like he looked like a piece. We knew that Grant Wolfram, if he could ever figure out the control and the consistency, was an electric arm. You said it on the show probably 3 or 4 times over the offseason. If the Orioles were to DFA Wolfram, somebody's picking him up. He will not make it through waivers. The Orioles kept him, and he's looking like a huge piece for them coming out of that bullpen. And then Rico Garcia, man, ever since last year when he came into that game where Yarmo Geraldo walked 3 straight guys to load the bases, they bring in Garcia, and he strikes out 3 dudes in a row, comes in bases loaded, nobody out, gets 3 Ks to keep the Orioles in that ball game. And ever since then, man, he's been untouchable. And Yennier Cano is maybe my favorite story right now, simply because of the fact that he is just carrying that confidence and swagger that you saw back in 2023. He looks like that dude. And look, it's 7 games, only 4 1/3 innings. Alvarez is using him in the right moments, and he's using him to get one big out and then go to another guy in the bullpen. And he developed that splitter so you can't just sit on the sinker all the time. Cano looks like a different dude than he
Yeah.
did last year.
He needed something to kind of offset that sinker because the changeup was what, 4 mile an hour, 5 mile an hour difference. Like, yeah,
Something
it
like
moved,
that.
but like guys could sit on it. And now with a splitter, I think the splitter's 9 or 10 mile an hour slower, but it's got just a different depth move, and they're all over the place. They don't know what to look for now because it's coming out of the same arm slot.
He had a big strikeout on who did he strike out the other day? It was a big one in a big moment. It was I think it was against the White Sox, and somebody was
it
on.
Murakami? That's about the only guy that's probably worthy of anything. I should.
I can't.
I said it though.
No, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it wasn't against the White Sox, but he had a big strikeout in a game. Maybe it was against Texas. I can't remember. But where I just saw he got that K in a big moment against one of their best players, and I thought, yeah, this dude's back. This dude's absolutely back right now. Now the one thing with the bullpen, if you want to nitpick, Ryan Helsley, 4-4 in save opportunities. His ERA is what, like 3.38, but 4 walks.
I think it went down today.
And a 2.06 WHIP. Did he pitch today?
Not today, but they said it was like a 2 something. I thought.
His WHIP was a 2.06.
Because he walks 1 or 2 guys an inning and then he strikes everybody out.
Yeah. Any concern there with the 2.06 WHIP and the 4 walks?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think it's no different than Batista. I think when you got a guy who's got a power arm like that and he's got some other secondary things, you're going to have walks. You just are. I mean, power arms are not guys that usually typically locate, right? They're going to throw the ball up in the zone. They're typically not going to hit corners all that often. They're just going to throw it down the middle. They throw 100 mile an hour. Good luck. And then, they're off speed. Who knows where it's going? They're throwing it down the middle and just hoping that it's breaking somewhere. It's not 100, right? The walks are always going to be there. So for me to say I'm concerned, I'd be lying to you because it's kind of expected a little bit. You'd want to see it lower, but you got to kind of expect it too. So I don't know. I think he's okay as long as he's still throwing 100 mile an hour and blowing the ball by people. I mean, you can walk the first 2 guys all you want. Eventually, it's going to bite him in the butt. But I mean, we saw Batista. If it's only once in a while, maybe 4 or 5 times a year, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Somebody said this to me, and not to me, but I heard it the other day. Actually, believe it or not, it was Vinny Serrato. Vinny Serrato said this on the air the other day, and it was one of the times that he said something about baseball that I agreed with him. And that's no hate on him. He's a football and hockey guy, He said the Orioles aren't in a rhythm yet because look at how inconsistent the start of the year is. You're playing 6-7 afternoon games the first 2.5 weeks of the year. You have all these days off. You're coming from Florida back up to Baltimore where it's cold, and you're playing in 36-degree temperatures in Chicago. One game's at 12:30, the next game's at 7:15, and the game after that's at 2:05. Wherever they're playing.
Yeah, they got moved up. Yeah.
Yeah, you have all of these games that are afternoon games for three games in a series, and you have a day off, and you go play 2 night games in an afternoon game. One game again in the 30s, the next day it's in the 70s. So like you don't have a routine. You don't have consistent temperatures. You don't know that it's really hard to keep your arm in the shape it needs to be in when you could be throwing in frigid temperatures or throwing in summertime temperatures. And I think that there was something to that once they get into a rhythm, and you're going to end up playing a bunch of 6:35 games from May on. Your afternoon games are generally speaking going to be Saturday at 4 and Sunday at 1:30, and then Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday, you're at 6:35, 7 o'clock, right? And that's when you get into a rhythm and you kind of start to hit your stride. The Orioles are starting to hit their stride right now, and they still aren't firing on all cylinders. I mean, you look at Pete Alonso had 2 big hits today, but he's been struggling. Basayo's been really struggling. Calzer's been getting singles, but not any extra base hits. Mayo struggling significantly. Jeremiah Jackson, people at the beginning of this past week, people were talking about demoting him, and then he gets 3 hits, including a big home run yesterday. So this team isn't firing on all cylinders, and yet they're 8-7, tied for first in the American League East. It's weird to talk about standings on April 12th.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're there. They're tied for first place, and they're one of 5 teams in the American League that are above 500.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even the offense. Like we we have our gripes about the offense, but they're still ahead of half the teams in the league. I mean, but going into today, I mean, they were just at a 235 average, and that's ranked 14th. Now, it's not great by any means, but there's a lot of teams below you that are decent. I mean, like Texas, Milwaukee, Seattle, New York, Philadelphia, Toronto. These are Cincinnati. These are playoff teams, and they're hitting worse than the Orioles. And the sky was falling for us. Imagine what their fan bases are going. Imagine what Toronto's going through right now. They think they have injuries.
Gosh.
They literally think they have injuries.
Oh man,
they don't know what injuries is.
We're gonna get into the Orioles injuries here in a minute because they're still, no pun intended, they're still mounting.
They are,
but they are.
That was pun intended. That's fine.
The depth is but the depth is showing its value right now on this ball club. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But the Orioles, after scoring 6 runs today, they finally crossed the 4 runs per game threshold. 60 runs on the nose in 15 games. That's 4 runs per game. That number's going up. I'm still surprised that
they've done it 6 times this year where they scored 5 at least.
Yeah,
and they're 5-1.
I'm still surprised that they aren't hitting more home runs, but I know that's going to come. That's going to come as they get into warmer temperatures. But man, Gunnar just clubbing the hell out of the baseball. 6 home runs has him tied for the AL lead with Yordan Alvarez. He's second in Major League Baseball. Only Jordan Walker is having a hell of a rejuvenation season. Also has 12 RBI and 3 stolen bases. I still have a 40-40 prediction for Gunnar. He looks like that dude to start this year.
I'd be shocked if the O's steal that much, though. They don't like to run, which surprises me. They've only had 5 stolen bases in April.
They ran a lot more yesterday. They went 3 for 3 yesterday, and then they actually had a couple of guys thrown out on the base paths today, which is weird because I thought that Alvarez would be kind of that manager that likes to play that kind of baseball.
Yeah,
a lot of hit and run because they did a lot of hit and run in spring training. A lot of hit and run, lot of stolen base attempts. But they also really, the only guy right now that has a ton of speed on your roster is Gunnar.
Beavers, actually.
Is Beavers pretty fast?
He's the fastest player on the team right now.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize
his sprint speed was it's like right around what Mateo is.
Really? That's surprising.
But Westberg is actually faster.
Yeah, Westberg's got speed. Holliday's got speed, but those guys are one's in the
Holliday has speed, just doesn't know how to use it.
Yeah, he's not a great base runner. Just not a great base runner.
Yeah.
But I think that once you see Holliday get back up here, maybe they'll start to see a little bit more bases. Maybe they'll bring Bradfield up in June, July. He had a big home run yesterday, but then took an over with a couple of Ks today.
Yeah.
No, he didn't play today. Holliday went 0 for 4 with 2 Ks. And we'll talk about Holliday in a minute too, man. I'm a little nervous. But I think they'll start to run more, but I am surprised they don't have more stolen base attempts. But Gunnar, as Gunnar starts to get on base more and more and more, he's going to try and he wants to steal every time he gets on first base.
I do, but part of me wonders if he has less this year with Pete hitting behind him, because who wants to get out with Pete Alonso at the plate?
Yeah. But he also made it a big point of emphasis.
Like if Taylor Ward's hitting behind him, that's different. Mm-hmm. But if he's hitting 2 or 3 with Pete exactly behind him, I don't think he's going to run in that situation very, very often.
That's a great point. He did spend the offseason working on that first step on first base to try and get to second base a little bit quicker. But you also saw him get picked off.
Yeah.
What was it in the Camden Yards game, or maybe the game against in one of the exhibitions against the Nationals? Or was it during the regular season? I think it was during the regular season where he got picked off with Pete Alonso at the plate. Mm-hmm. And people were like, what are you doing, man? You can't
it was just the other day.
Off there. Yeah, you can't get picked off there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the biggest surprise, man, Taylor Ward leading the majors in doubles with 10. But he also has 10 walks and no home runs. Taylor Ward, 10 doubles, 10 walks, 8 RBI, no home runs, but he's slashing 356, 443, 525. That's a 968 OPS from Taylor Ward. The home runs are going to come, but did you expect this from him? And do you think that he's kind of made himself more like a guy who might hit 15 to 20 home runs, but might hit 40 to 50 doubles?
Yeah, it seems like their whole team's philosophy right now is to stay up the middle, and everybody's kind of inside out in the ball. And Taylor's doing the same thing, and it's working. He's not pulling too many balls, some of them, but he's liking hitting the ball to right field right now. Mm-hmm. And if he hits 40 to 50 doubles and 15, 20 home runs, he's still probably going to get close to 80 some RBIs. I think that's acceptable if he's hitting 280.
Yeah.
Did we bring him here for power? Yeah, we did. But if you're going to give that from me from the right side of the plate and play sufficient outfield, I'm not going to complain, especially for a guy that can't even get on the mound and pitch at all.
I'm not going to complain. You also have to wonder. We saw that the home runs were a career high last year. The 228 was one of his lowest averages of his career. On base percentage was still 317 despite that 228 because he walked 75 times.
Yeah.
The guy's going to take his walks. Because the Angels were so inept offensively last year, do you think that he kind of sold out for home runs last year to provide that element for that ball club? And this year he's being more the player that he thinks he should be, that the coaching staff thinks he can be? Because, look, his chase rate is elite. He doesn't he doesn't chase bad pitches. He stays up the middle. Like you say, he's going inside out right now. His swing looks good. He's hitting. I saw this the other day. I think Alex Fast may have posted this. He leads the majors in doubles. He doesn't have a single barrel this year. He has not barreled up one baseball this year. How is that possible?
Just inside out swings.
Like has not barreled up one baseball this year.
He's putting in good spots. He's the only guy that's actually getting the good bounce. Like even when Pete had that hit today that went down the line, and then like they showed the replay and the guy dove for it. Like Pete's luck right now, that guy would have caught the ball yesterday. Mm-hmm. That's just the luck that he's had this year. He's crushing the ball, but he's got nothing to show for it. And then it gets in his own head. He's striking out a million times. But if that dude would have dove and caught the ball today, you might have had to take Pete Alonso's shoelaces.
Man.
He was just going through it, and Taylor was just the guy that just everything seemed to just go the right way for. Broken bats, doubles down the right field line and stuff. On pitches he probably got beat on, but he got the barrel to the ball instead of swinging through it, and good things happen sometimes.
Right. Well, you know what though? It's pretty impressive what he's doing despite the fact not having any barrels. Again, 356 batting average and a 968 OPS is pretty impressive. Apparently, nobody has pointed out to me that I misremembered this game. So
I got texted like immediately last time you said it, like by 4 people.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't even remember it. I can't remember that far back.
Yeah. Look, I know that it was against the Red Sox, and I don't think they won that game. I thought they lost that game.
They did. I do remember they won. It was in extras,
game?
though. Yeah, because I do remember Geraldo blew something. I just didn't remember when.
Because I thought that it was okay. So it was Stroud that loaded the bases. Geraldo loaded the bases the next inning. The Orioles won in 11. I thought that the Orioles had tied that ball game up late, and then they went to extras, and the Red Sox. Or maybe I'm remembering that I was thinking if the Orioles still managed to lose this game, I'm going to be really pissed off, and then they won. And maybe I'm remembering thinking I was going to be pissed off. All right. My bad, guys. I don't have the memory that I used to have. I'm sorry about that. Maybe
it happens when you have kids.
Maybe it's just nerve impingement going up into my brain a little bit. I didn't realize. Apparently, that's a big deal that I keep misremembering this game. Somebody randomly. So when the Orioles traded for Trevor Rogers, I went on this 4 or 5 minute rant on video.
It came across my thing the other day. I was like, I'm not going to watch this, but I was starting to read through the comments, and I was like, man, a lot of these people probably should get roasted for this.
Well, so I have eaten my words on Trevor Rogers time and again. For the last year, I've been eating my words. I'm saying like, hey, I was wrong. How did that come across your feed? Because it is.
I think somebody just commented on it, like said, like, "Hey, Paul, you should readdress this" or something like that.
Oh, he said. I was like, dude, what is wrong with you? That at midnight, you're going back 2 years to find this post on an off day.
Yeah,
and Rogers didn't even pitch the day before that. He pitched 2. Like, what is happening? He's like, no, it came up on my feed. I was like, bullshit. You had to dig.
Somebody must have liked it though, or something that was on his feed. It was funny though. I was like, I'm not going to listen to this because I don't want to dog Paul.
But would you have been dogging me 2 years ago with that opinion?
I like to let things play out. So I'll be honest with you. When the Zach Eflin trade happened, I was not a fan. And it wasn't because I didn't like Zach Eflin, but I was so high on Matthew Etzel I was like, I hate this trade. Like, Etzel's going to be so good. No, Etzel hasn't. I mean, he's a fine ball player. He hasn't done anything since. And now, one of those things you eat your word on. But I said it in my video. Like, I think Zach's great. It's going to help the team. But like, I was so high on Matthew Etzel. Like, I thought he was going to be the starting center fielder by now.
Yeah.
And those things just happen, man.
I see. Trevor Rogers hadn't been good in 3 or 4 years. He had one good season. I think it was 21 starts, and it was in 2021, right?
Rookie of the year, right? 2021.
Yeah, he was rookie. No, I think
close to it.
Second. I think he finished second in rookie of the year, and he was an all-star. But he hadn't been good since. He'd been injured a lot, and then he came over, and I was right. Like he pitched to a 7.5 ERA. He made 4 starts, and then he got demoted and didn't pitch after like August. Because he had dead arm. Then last year he starts the year on the IL because he dislocated his kneecap throwing a bullpen. Nobody thought this guy was going to do what he did last year. So did I eat my words eventually because he was really good all season last year? Absolutely. Do I think that the Orioles should extend him this year? Absolutely. Especially because if he keeps doing what he's doing, like he's going to get paid. That price goes up with every start that he, because he's giving you 6
You think
innings.
he's at $30 million right now, a year? I mean, because the qualifying offer is about what, 23 probably next year, 23, 24.
Yeah, I know he wants to be here. I think the Orioles could probably have him for 25 to 27 million a year. But that number, but he's a free agent at the end of the year, and in free agency,
and he's left-handed.
Yeah, he's going to make a ton of money.
Yeah.
He's going to make a ton of money. But anyway, I just thought it was weird that this guy dug this up from 2 years ago. Not even on the day that Trevor Rogers pitched, not even on the day that the Orioles played. I'm at the gym, and I see this. I was like, what the hell happened here? But anyway, I digress. Today's show brought to you by Glenn Clark Radio. If you missed anything from Glenn Clark Radio this week, including conversations with our boy Rico Garcia, Brad Brock, Muggsy Bogues, Sean Burke, and more, you can find them in the Glenn Clark Radio Week in Review feature at PressBoxOnline.com. And as always, watch or listen to GCR every Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. at PressBoxOnline.com/radio or right here at PressBox's Facebook and YouTube pages. So I do want to talk about Pete Alonso. Right, Pete was in a 2 for 32 slump. He was batting last night in a 3-1 count, and
swung at a ball in dirt.
No. He got two cookies in a row. Logan Webb's fastball is a sinker. He throws it. He was right around 92, 93 with it all night last night. 3-1 count on Alonso in the 5th or 6th inning, and Alonso swings on back-to-back 93-mile-an-hour sinkers right down the middle of the plate, swings right through him to strike out. And I even said, I was like, what else could you possibly want to break out of your slump than a 3-1 fastball right down the middle of the plate at 93 miles an hour, right? God bless that man. Takes a walk in his first at-bat today. In his second at-bat, he comes up there with runners on first and third and 2 outs. 2-strike count, and he comes through with that big double down the left field line to score 2 runs. He gets a single on the first pitch he sees in the next at bat. How much of this? You're the new shiny toy on a brand new team. Everybody's expecting you to be this clubhouse leader now, and you're getting paid a ton of money to do it. The largest average annual value in the history of the franchise. A lot of pressure on Pete to perform and maybe kind of crumbling under that pressure to start? And do you think that this double is the lift-off point for him for the rest of the season?
I hope so. I mean, he started off fairly good. I mean, he's hitting the ball hard. And I think it wears on you a little bit when you're hitting the ball that hard and you have nothing to show for it. And, yeah, you are the new shiny toy. You're expected to come in here and blast the ball over the place. And you were hitting it hard. I think, yeah, mentally it was draining on him a little bit, and kudos to him to kind of keep fighting through it. Called himself out, so I like the accountability there. Yeah, I hope it's just 2-3 at bats. They did look better today. He finally stayed back enough on a slider to drive it for down the left field line for two runs there. I can't say that, yes, it's the turning point, though, because it's such a small sample size. But it is a building block. I hope he does build off of it. Missing 93 down the middle is not encouraging. I mean, you're looking at a guy who took DeGrom on the inside corner at 98, 97, 98, and just hit it out with ease. We haven't seen that swing since. So do I say he's back? Yeah, I hope so. But I think we need to see probably 10, 15 more bats to really make a decision.
It was probably a 900-pound monkey that he got off his back there with
Yeah.
that 2-run double.
Oh,
That's probably
1,000%.
his biggest hit as an Oriole coming through and it takes a 2-1 ball game and makes it a 4-1 ball game.
Yeah.
It was a big hit in a big situation for him. I was happy to see him come through. My best friend and I, we text during every Orioles game, and he's like, man, I know he's gonna be good, but Alonso is just pissing me off right now. He's just striking out with guys on second and third, and this that, and the other. And it's like, dude, he's gonna hit. It's just
Yeah.
he's just off to a slow start. So hopefully that double got that monkey off his back, and he's in a spot now where he can kind of relax a little bit and realize, hey, I'm that dude. I just got to play my game, and 35 and 105 are going to be up there at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, he's single-handedly why we've probably lost a lot of games and not scored a lot of runs. I mean, do I really want to say that? No, but I mean, he is. I mean, when you look at it, I mean, he's at bats that he's had in runners and scoring position. 16 at bats. He's 2 for 16 to start the year with just 2 RBIs going into today. Today he had what? I guess you could say another one. But 16 times he's had guys at second base or third base, right? So think about all the times the Orioles won the loss by 1 or 2 runs. Big reason right there is Pete Alonso. I mean, look at the main guys with runners in scoring position. It's Pete's got 16, Gunnar's got 16, who's also only got 4 hits. Like those are guys that were hitting back to back 2 and 3 hole. I mean, for a long time there, and not scoring runs, and you could look directly right there. Adley Rutschman 2 for 11. Like that was your 2, 3, 4 hitters for a really long time. And Kobe Mayo 2 for 9, Blaze 1 for 9, Jeremiah 3 for 9, which is fine. Basayo 0 for 8. Like that was a good chunk of your lineup really struggling. Basayo included, but you got to expect that out of Basayo too. But Pete would probably tell you like, hey, we probably could have won some ball games if I came through a little bit better. And Gunnar would probably tell you the same thing. So if this is the worst we're going to see all year, I'll take it, I guess.
Yeah, these guys are all going to get hot. Like I said, Gunnar is already trying to go scorched earth right now. Especially, I saw that he didn't hit his 5th home run until his 32nd game last year, and he's got 6 already. This guy's going to have an MVP caliber season this year, and that might be the reason. Because he and Alonso were both struggling so badly with runners in scoring position. I mean, that's what you just said. 6 for 32 combined between the two of them, and they were hitting 2, 3 for you. Maybe that's why
Darwin Basayo, you're looking at 6 for 40.
Yeah,
6 for 40.
And Adley was 2 for 11. That's 8 for 51, right? And that's your 2, 3, 4, 5 hitters, on a given night. And that could be why Gunnar's been bad in leadoff more and Ward's been bad in second. Is just to kind of split them up, because that like if Gunnar gets on base and if he walks, manages to steal second, or he hits a leadoff double, then Ward can get him over or get him in, and you don't have to worry about Gunnar just got on and now Alonso's going to strike out or ground into a double play type of situation. And look, Alonso grounded into a double play in his final at bat today. That stuff doesn't bother me. He is that dude.
He smoked that ball, didn't he?
I took my wife out we did this thing that I got her as a gift for her birthday, the Jury Experience, which was really a ton of fun. And we were at the Paper Moon Diner when he grounded in a double play, so I missed that.
Let me find it real quick, because I want to say he had to hit that ball at least 103. I mean, he absolutely just pooped on it. God, where is it here? Gunnar Henderson, Pete Alonso grounds a double play. Okay. 108.8 off the bat.
And that's the thing. That dude runs like his name's Benji Molina. Yeah. He is so damn slow, and he hits the ball so hard that he'll probably ground into 20 double plays this year.
Yeah.
And I don't really care, because if he hits 30 to 40 home runs, that more than evens out. You're in the green there. So I'm fine with it, especially in a game that you win 6-2. This was this past week. I don't even want to say this past week, because the games in Chicago, they had you nervous until late in the ball game. Late in the ball game is when they kind of pull away. But this series, the last 2 games in particular, 2 of the Orioles' most complete games of the season. Bassett kind of. How do you feel about his start yesterday? 4 2/3. He gives up 1 run. They took him out with 2 outs in the 5th inning because historically Devers crushes Bassett, so they didn't want him to face him in a tight ball game there because I think it was 2-1 Orioles at the time when they had him when Devers came up there in the 5th inning. Did you think that he was good yesterday? For me, if you're not going 5 1/3, if you're not going 5+, I can't say you were good yesterday.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
You know,
I think he maybe could have gotten Devers out, but I think at that point you're just like, no, I'll take my chances. And bullpen's been pitching good, so why not? But he got better. Obviously, I mean, it wasn't that hard to get a little bit better, but it was good to see. I mean, he's kept his composure the whole time. He's had a lot of soft contact. Him and Bradish both, honestly, a lot of soft contact. I saw an interesting stat today too, because this guy's directly involved in it. But the Orioles have where is it? Oh, come on. My buddy Alex sent this to me. Shout out to Alex. Team ERA by inning. Orioles second inning, 10.39, highest in baseball. The other 8 innings of baseball, they have a 2.96, which is the third best in baseball.
Yeah, they posted that during the game feed today.
Yeah,
they posted.
It's just crazy.
I saw that.
It's crazy. Bassett, Baz, and who was the other one I posted? Bradish have a 21 ERA between the 3 of them in the second inning.
Well, in Bradish's start, in his last start, he gave up 2 runs in the second inning, and the White Sox had runners on second and third with 2 outs. And I posted, the White Sox are a hit away from the Orioles giving up 4 runs in the second inning for the 5th time in 12 games.
Yeah.
That stat is crazy.
I would love to go back and look because I would guarantee that 80% of those hits never left the infield.
Yeah, there were a couple of infield hits against Baz. There were a couple of bloops against Bradish, and then Bassett. Bassett had the one throwaway, and then they had the ball that I think the ball that bounced off of Alonso. Yeah, I mean, it's not like they were getting torched. There was I think Bradish when he gave up the 4 runs, he had 2 outs and the bases loaded, or was it Bassett? It was Bassett.
Bassett. Yeah.
He had 2 outs and the bases loaded, and he gave up that ringing double to the 9-hitter. And it's always the bottom third of the order that's crushing these guys too. And like if a lot of times you'll see the Orioles will score a run, and the next thing the pitcher walks the 9-hitter to lead off the inning, which is just maddening to me. But look, the starters pitched to a 2.51 ERA in 32 1/3 innings this past week. That's 6 games. That's over 5 innings a start at this point of the year. I'll take that. And giving up 9 earned runs in 6 games from your starting rotation, I will take that every single day. They're doing their job, and when the bullpen's been as good as it's been, the Orioles are playing some good baseball right now. They got the Diamondbacks coming up. Is there a day off tomorrow? Or they play tomorrow.
I haven't looked.
Yeah, I haven't looked either. Usually, my wife was shocked. The Orioles have a new broadcaster, by the way.
The radio guy?
Yeah, he had me laughing.
So they do play tomorrow, sorry. My wife said, she's like, who is this guy? He's not as good as Brett. I was like, I don't know who it is. She's like, he's not as electric as Brett. She's like, his voice is boring. And I was like, I think that's fair. I was like, he's a smart dude. I was like, but I think that's fair.
Yeah, his voice was, I don't think his voice was boring. But I can see what she means. I can see what she means.
Brett's just got a good energy.
Well, but Brett's got a little too much energy sometimes. There was a 2-2 count on Jeremiah Jackson. The pitch gets thrown. He goes, and that's ball 3. And I was like, all right, Brett, it's ball 3, man. Like, whoa. And then he strikes out on the next pitch. It's like, you were so fired up for ball 3, man.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't have the voice crack. That was all me. But no, I like that guy. He was talking about somebody's pet is named Finn, and he was like, I thought it was for Huck Finn, but it's because they're Dolphins fans. He's like, I just looked like an idiot, and I thought that was hysterical. But
yeah, I think he's fine.
Yeah.
But speaking of the 7, 8, 9 hitters, so since just the Giants series, going into today, they were just 5 for 24. So they tamed it a little bit with just 3 RBIs. So no walks, 4 Ks. That's what you want to see against the bottom half of the lineup. And I'm pretty sure they were pretty good today. 7, 8, and 9 for them were 0 for. So they were 0 for 9. So even better. So 5 for 33. So I'll take that. That's a sub 180 average with no runs and 5 strikeouts, 6 strikeouts for this series. So you want to fix some of your issues. That's it, and that's what you want to see going forward.
By the way, just so you guys understand where my squirrel brain comes from, I didn't know if the Orioles played or not tomorrow, and my wife was surprised that I didn't know who an Orioles broadcaster was, and so she would probably be equally surprised that I didn't know if the Orioles played or not tomorrow. But anyway, getting back to what you were saying, well, yeah, the thing that I was surprised about with today's game, Cade Povich got to start, and we kind of buried a little bit. He was phenomenal today, in control from start to finish. Would have liked to have seen him get out of that 7th inning, but 6 2/3 of giving up 1 run with no walks, absolutely phenomenal
How
performance.
about Albie sending him back out there?
Loved it, absolutely loved it. Yeah, and Brandon Hyde never would have. He would not have been out there for the 7th inning. I absolutely loved it. Trust your guys until they give you a reason not to trust you.
Yep.
You know, not to trust them. But going into that game, I looked it up last night. Because Cade Povich makes me nervous. Until he consistently does this, I'll still remember second, third time through the order not looking great. I'll still remember 5 walks in 4 innings, 100 pitches in 4 innings. You know, but the thing that surprised me, the Giants coming into the game today against left-handed pitching were hitting 296, 295 with a 774 OPS this year. And that made me nervous for Povich to start that game. I will 100% tell you, I was nervous because of how well they hit left-handed pitching. And he struck out Devers his first 2 at-bats, and I was like, ooh, this is a different dude out there right now. You know, we'll see how long it can go, but like really impressed with how much he tamed that lineup.
He doesn't look scared anymore. Doesn't look like that young, scared Cade Povich anymore.
Sure. Just pitching with a ton of confidence. They said that did he develop a new pitch?
Can you see this?
I can see
it.
Yeah. What do we got going on here?
He's just laying upside down, just squeaking away.
Oh, he looks like a happy boy. Let him do what he wants.
Yeah.
Look at him.
This is what I got to deal with all the time. So if you guys ever know, this is what he does behind me all the time. Or he's just sitting here biting my feet.
That just means you're his person. My dog will never sleep harder than when he's next to me on the couch because he feels safe. He's like, this is who I want to be with. I feel safe. I'm good to go. Let me. His eyelid starts twitching. His whole body starts shaking. Oh my god, man, it's crazy.
Yep.
But no, Povich really tamed that lineup. I think they were talking about how he developed another pitch to keep guys off balance. I can't remember what it was, and shouldn't bring it up.
I want to say it's a sinker, right?
Maybe, but like he looked like he could do whatever he wanted with the baseball today, and that's the Cade Povich that people fell in love with at the end of 2024, and then we only saw glimpses of that last year. But through 2 outings, through what is it now? Through 12 1/3 innings. 12 1/3 innings, Cade Povich looks like a dude for this team right now, which I never thought that I would say that. Never thought that I would say that about this team. Remember when people thought that Mike Elias said that he expected 30 starts and 180 innings out of Cade Povich this year? It was a whole thing going around, but it wasn't real. Yeah, like you're not going to get that out of him, but he's pitching really well right now. Pitching really well, and we'll see if he can continue. Like you said, ride the hot hand. You don't necessarily have to bring Dean up, but Dean was phenomenal in his last start for Norfolk. So look, it sucks what's going on with Zach Eflin. Confirmed he had Tommy John surgery the other day, which means he's going to be out until probably May at the earliest next year.
I would say probably second half.
Yeah, just real, and even when he does come back, he's going to be on innings limit because he only threw 77 innings last year.
Right.
Just really sucks because he looked great.
Do we pick up that option?
Training.
Because it's what, $20 million?
It's 25. It's.
They're gonna have to cut him, right?
It's 25 million. I think that I even put that in my notes. Like, what do you do about that option? I think they decline the option and then bring him back on a team friendly deal.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen.
You start him in AAA. Give him a minor league deal.
No.
You think he takes that?
I don't think you give him a. I think that he takes that as disrespect. You know what I mean? Like when he is healthy, he's a legitimate quality big league pitcher. I think you give him
he's a good four.
Yeah. I think you give him a major league deal. I think it's probably something that is 7-8 million, and if he hits a certain that has incentives built into it, he's not going to get that 25 million next year. That's not a thing.
What if they took next year's 25 million option and split it into two? Right, so he opts in, or they opt in, and they split it 10 and 15. So now it becomes a 1-year deal becomes a 2-year deal, and it's 10 and 15.
Yeah, I mean they can do whatever they want with it. I mean it probably wouldn't be. It probably wouldn't be laid out like that. Oh well, we're going to take this option and split it into two deals.
No, I mean basically like a restructure.
But yeah, I could see it. It's, do you want to lock into a guy who has been hurt a lot in his career for 2 years and pay him 10 million 1 year, 15 million another year, and then he only posts up for 15 starts in those 2 years combined? Because then you're talking about John Means all over again, and we all know we all love John Means. That no hitter on Cinco de Mayo in 2021, we will never forget that. We'll never forget that. But John Means, 2 Tommy John surgeries, always had the shoulder inflammation, never made 30 starts in the season. Then he goes out and it wasn't Cleveland this year, it was Kansas City. He was about to sign with the Royals, and he tore his Achilles the day before he was about to sign that contract. You know what I mean? Like, do you really want to do? And now John Means is getting minor league contracts and trying to prove himself again and get healthy again. Do you really want to give somebody back-to-back $10+ million seasons to not post up for you?
No. It's funny you say that about John Means. That's why we love him. Like, what if Brandon Young would have completed that perfect game last year? Would we love Brandon Young like we love John Means?
Look, if Brandon Young does what he did last week against the White Sox, we'll love him just like we love John Means. It's all about performance.
I mean, just in general, like if he would have completed that perfect game, would he have gotten the John Means treatment?
No.
I don't think so either.
No, because John Means was an all-star. And John Means posted up every time John Means went out there. He was that dude, but he just couldn't stay healthy. It's like, remember when Brandon Hyde removed David Hess in the 7th inning of a no-hitter in his first start of the year, and we were all pissed off, and then Hess pitched to like a 6.5 ERA the rest of the year. And look, I know that it's nothing against David Hess, a cancer survivor, thank God for that. Wasn't a great big league pitcher. I mean, we all don't love David Hess because he had a no-hitter in his first start of the season, 7 no-hit innings. So I think it's got to be like that no-hitter or the perfect game, and then on top of that, you're also going out there and pitching to a 3 ERA for 3-4 months. Then yes, we can talk about him the same way we talk about John Means. I'm
going to touch on Charm City's comment here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Brandon Young have an immaculate inning year? Yes, he did.
He did. He did have an immaculate inning last
year. Brandon
actually,
Brandon showed some promise, honestly. Like, I think he's come up and has pitched fair for being a rookie last year, and a guy who wasn't drafted to boot. Like, this was all him. Made it through the minor leagues and whatnot. He's shown some decent stuff. Like, he wasn't a high profile guy. Wasn't a high-profile draft pick. This is just a dude who's grinded it out, and he's shown glimpses of being a capable arm, and he came out the other day and did it again. Like, there might be something there. Maybe.
I think it's safe to say that he's a big league pitcher. I don't know what that entails, but he at Norfolk, his first start since his big league start last week, 6 innings today, 2 hits, 1 run.
Yeah.
I would go as far as to say, is he's a big league pitcher? Is he a big league starter? Probably not. I think he probably profiles more as a reliever at some point. I don't know that he should be part of a 5-man rotation on a good baseball team. But if he's a guy who can be a long man for you, he can spot start for you. He could carve out a role like an Albert Suarez type of situation, or an Austin Voth type. You remember Austin Voth back in 2022?
He just got cut the other day.
Oh, did it? He was with Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was with Toronto. I remember seeing that I was like, he's still playing? But
I look at Brandon Young as like a Cal Cantrell, who, like, he's not amazing, but like he's lasted in his league for a little while, even though he's not been all that great. I mean, guy's got a career 4.35 ERA and a 1.34 WHIP. Like, He's not great by any means, but he's found a way to pitch in the big leagues for how many years now? 7? Like, Brandon Young could be a guy who could find a way to have a 4.4, 4.5 career ERA and pitch for, probably not here, but pitch for a couple years in the big leagues.
Yeah. There's a spot for him somewhere.
Yeah.
Is it with the Orioles? I don't know, but
keep pitching the way you are, and yeah, maybe.
Is this the last that we've heard of Brandon Young for the Orioles in 2026? Absolutely not. He'll probably get 10, 12 games under his belt, whether it's out of the bullpen or as a spot starter. He'll get some work this season for sure. Today's show brought to you by the latest edition of Press Box, which is coming this week, a brand new print issue of Press Box. On the cover, Bill Ordine looks at what will be different at the 2026 Preakness at Laurel and the future of the race when it moves back to Pimlico. Also inside, Luke Jackson looks at what Trey Hendrickson brings to the Ravens and much more. You can still get the issue with Cal Ripken on the cover today, but be on the lookout for the new print issue this week at your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores and also free at PressBoxOnline.com. I've been looking at this comment since basically the show started.
Put it up.
When do you? Well, I was waiting for the time to bring it up. When do you think Holliday comes back up?
I was told Holliday was supposed to be up on Friday, but that was before that article came out that his hand still doesn't feel good. So I don't know. Could maybe see him tomorrow, maybe. Who knows? But he's not hitting at all. At all.
0 for 4 today with 2 more strikeouts. He's hitting 161 at AAA.
With 12 strikeouts or something like that, right? 10 or 12?
Yeah.
And 30 at bats.
When I checked the other day, he was 5 for 27 with 8 strikeouts. Mm-hmm. The next day, he went 1 for 5. No strikeouts, but he went 1 for 5. And the day after that, he went 1 for 3. And then today was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. So he's something like 7 for 41 right now. He is just not hitting the baseball down there. Maybe the hand is still lingering. And I've heard that it takes a while to come back. And look, people like Corbin Carroll and Francisco Lindor had the same surgery at the same time. You're talking about all-star caliber players who have been in the big leagues, been there, done that. This is a dude who's 22 years old who has a season and a half under his belt at the big league level. And he's still growing into his body. You know what I mean? I don't think you should see Jackson Holliday until you're confident he can come up here and be better than what you currently have.
Yeah.
Right?
The only reason why I really want him is just stability at second base. It puts Blaze back in that spot to be the utility guy. He plays some third, plays some outfield and whatnot. Jeremiah Jackson getting a couple, pinch hit, appearances here and there, some outfield play, maybe some third base, but not much. But I don't know. I thought he would hit a little bit better, but he's struggling.
Yeah, he is definitely struggling. I'll tell you what.
But he's trying. Man, look. It's not like he's just picked up the same bat and going back. He's changed the bat, the knob, everything that he, everything he's touched has changed. So I'd still like to see it a little bit better. But yeah, I'm not ready to bring it back up until he shows something.
I just don't think, I don't think that you can. I don't think that you can while he's hitting 160 at AAA. And it ain't it's not like it's 160 after a week. He's been down there for 3 weeks. Yeah. And he's hitting 160. You don't just bring him up because he's Jackson Holliday. You bring him back up when he's ready to go and can hit the ground running. Right now, I don't think he can do that.
Is there a rule on that? How many days you're allowed? Because he's only on the 15-day DL? Is there a rule how long you can stay on it?
I'll look it up.
I tried to look it up, but I couldn't find anything past you can come back when you're healthy. But I know that's not true.
Well, but here's the other thing. He's got options.
They wouldn't option him. They wouldn't do that.
You don't think that? If he just started the year, he's on the 40. He's not on the active roster. He's on the 40-man roster. Yeah. How long can you stay on an injury rehab?
Because I feel like there's got to be some kind of rules with minor league rehab games. Because they
I think it's 21 days.
Is that what it is? Because he's taking up a roster spot at AAA.
In Major League Baseball, injury rehab assignments are limited to 20 days for position players and 30 days for pitchers. So if he's
coming up on 20 days.
Yeah, if he's on the 15-day IL right now.
15 days is up, obviously.
15 days is up. And 20 days is up pretty damn soon. I think they've played.
Might be tomorrow.
They opened the same day that the Orioles did, or the day
they?
after.
Day after?
The Orioles opened on Thursday, the 26th. Norfolk opened on the 27th. So we're entering week 3 of the season right now. It's probably up this coming week.
Yeah, I wonder how that works.
I'd imagine. So what's today? The 12th. So you got 12, and then you got another 4. That's 16. Yeah, he probably finishes out this week at AAA, and then he's back up, or they're gonna have to move him to the 60-day IL, which I don't think
you want to. Yeah,
I don't think you're willing to do that. We talked about on the show they moved Jordan Westburg to the 60-day IL. Remember you and I talked about that?
I think you had to do that though.
Yeah, we talked about that before opening day. Like, hey, how do you get this make room for some of these relievers that you think are going to make the team? And we talked about moving Westburg to the 60-day IL, and that's exactly what they did. So I do want to get to some fan comments here. The signs with Cano were from Sean Whipple. The signs with Cano were there this spring, but no one wanted to give him credit, even though he was one of our most experienced relievers. Well, dude, he was so bad last year.
Yeah,
like he was so bad. He looked like he lost all of his confidence. So like, when you pitch as poorly as he did last year, nobody's just going to say, "Oh, you're good, come on back." Like, except the Orioles did that. Like, he developed a splitter. He looks a lot better, but like you've got to earn it. Just like I wasn't willing to say Trevor Rogers is a great pitcher until Trevor Rogers proved that he was a great pitcher, and now I think he's a great pitcher. Calling it right now, Blaze homers against Arizona. Somebody's got to start hitting some home runs outside of Gunnar, man. Yeah. Although,
it's supposed to be stupid hot this week, so maybe we start seeing some more.
It's supposed to be 80 degrees in the 80s tomorrow for sure.
90s on Wednesday and Thursday, I think. Are they home on Wednesday and Thursday though? Of course not. Well, they are on Wednesday.
They're home Wednesday.
Yeah, and then they're in Cleveland, which it'll probably be like 40 degrees in Cleveland that week.
Yeah, the lowest temperature this next week is 80 tomorrow.
Yeah. So they're in Cleveland and Kansas City. Those are 2 tough places for them. They struggle in those 2 places.
Yeah, they do. Cleveland is getting worked right now, though. They're losing 9-1 to the Braves in the 7th. That's the game I have on my TV. Every time I look up, it looks like the Braves just scored another run. Basayo's home run today, man. Those are some of my favorite home runs when a guy goes oppo taco, and as soon as he hits it, you know it's gone. He hit that ball, and I went, oh my God, that was smashed. 108 miles an hour off the bat, 396 to the left center field gap into the bullpen for a home run. Like, that home run was absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
You hope
I'm gonna go back and watch it again.
You hope that Basayo, let's see. You hope that Basayo is gonna be like that. He's gonna figure it out. He's still figuring. Beaver's still figuring it out. Mayo, I don't know what's going on with Cal. There's a lot of singles, but not much else from him right now. But Fred Deal. The Orioles come together. We are dangerous. By All-Star break, we'll be a team you don't want to see. If we say that's such a big if, because I mean
they
Westburg
can't stay healthy. We can get into that now. They can't stay healthy.
Yeah, Westburg 60-day IL, Eflin, Tommy John surgery. You're looking at Holliday still struggling after the hamate bone surgery. Adley on the 10-day IL with the ankle, but I think he'll be back as soon as those 10 days are up. Mountcastle broke his 4th metatarsal in his right foot looking at running double Saturday. Yeah.
Running and broke his foot running.
Tyler O'Neill got sick and dehydrated on Thursday, fainted, hit his head, and is now a concussion protocol. Like,
that's so O's.
It's like Marty Cordova getting 3rd-degree burns from the tanning bed back in 2001.
That's so O's.
Or Sammy Sosa, the time when he sneezed and threw his back out. Do you remember hearing about that?
I've done that twice. I'm not ever going to pick on any human being for doing that.
You are no longer a professional baseball player.
Listen, though. Listen. This was one of the most aggressive sneezes ever. Like I reared back and everything and let it loose, and all of a sudden, like I was like, I felt paralyzed. It was horrible. I'll never make fun of somebody for that ever again.
I've come close. I can feel something slide a little bit when I sneeze, and
it's terrible.
I've had those sneezes where then my collarbone for some reason hurts for like 25 seconds. You ever had one of those? Mm-hmm. I don't know what the hell that is. But
so I just seen a tweet here. I'm in a Discord here with Deet, who's in our chat sometimes. Source says Tatsuya Maya is heading back to Houston after recording only 1 out in his start on Friday in Seattle. No word yet from the team, but typically means it's some kind of injury. Stay tuned. That's from Brian McTaggart, who covers the Astros.
Wow.
That's a lot of money, too.
Yeah. Dude, this has been a weird start to the year.
I think it's been average.
Nobody's really hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you're seeing a lot of injuries. Like the Blue Jays are absolutely decimated. And surprise, surprise, George Springer got hurt. Like
he always gets hurt.
That's what I'm saying. Like people were talking about the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are playing bad baseball right now because they don't have anybody on their offense, and I feel like they have 9 important guys on the IL right now.
Yeah, I mean we do too if you think about it.
Yeah, we absolutely do. But the difference is the Orioles right now have legitimate big league players.
They've had these seasons so many times now that they know that you got to have 26 guys that can start in the major leagues.
Oh, absolutely. Like, and Blaze, I'll tell you, man. You said that you're looking for more stability at the second base position. I love Blaze at second base.
Yeah, I just like Blaze in general. I think he's a good ball player.
He is a good ball player, and like he's getting an opportunity. He's gonna be, and he's around for. You have 5 years of control with him, but no options. But you don't need to option a guy like him. Like he's a guy who I would expect to run more than he does too. Doesn't he look like he should be way?
Yeah, I think they said he only had like 7 career steals or something like that.
I don't think he's that.
His jumps must be terrible.
Yeah. Let's see. The 20 days for the rehab assignment doesn't start until the 15-day IL is done, so it's a total of 35 days, I think. It's from our buddy Sean from Charm City Entertainment. Let's see. Like, subscribe, and become a member. Please do so. I think that matters more for Zach. But yeah, like and subscribe to our show as well. We definitely want more viewership here. Weak bodies. I don't think it's weak bodies, man. I don't. I think there's so much more emphasis on swing speed, on torque, on throwing 100+ miles an hour that our bodies aren't meant to do that.
Yeah.
Like they just aren't meant to do that. Like I'm 41. I'm not a professional athlete. I stay in shape. I work out. I play baseball. I play golf. I'm in good shape. My shoulder's killing me. My triceps, my back hurts. Like, our bodies aren't meant to do the things that we do to it. I don't think it's anything about weak bodies.
I watched this video the other day, and if anybody's interested, it's from Tread Athletics on YouTube. They have 245,000 subscribers, but they did a video on Jackson Kowar in the offseason, and it goes back and like just talking about what you were saying with the body and whatnot, like what they got him to do to get his fastball to come back. And all they do is sit there and stare at an iPad and just watch all these analytics and all this crap. And they got cameras everywhere, and they kind of like watch his skeletal movement and whatnot, like just to try to get these guys to throw harder. Like you said, your body is not used to this. So you guys are interested, look him up on YouTube and go watch this. Like they're looking at exactly like how his fingers are twisting the ball as he's releasing and stuff like that. Like incredible stuff, but it's why people are getting hurt.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Try to throw a slider.
Yeah.
Just try to throw a slider, and the whip that you have to do with your wrist and the torque that you put on your shoulder doing it. Yeah. Like when I throw a slider, I throw a decent slider. I don't ever want to throw it because it hurts. It hurts. My slider is faster than my fastball because of the torque that I have to put on it, but it hurts, man. Like if I hurt my arm, it's throwing a slider. We aren't overhand. The overhand throw is not natural. Underhand is natural, but like it does not. Throwing a baseball.
Funny though, like you think about evolution and like how the body kind of like evolves over the years. Like we've been playing baseball for a long time. You think it would have kind of like adapted by now? Maybe. No? Am I the only one thinking that?
I think you just proved that evolution isn't real. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean,
I think that takes thousands, if not millions of years. I don't think
it's been thousands of pitches in your lifetime, and then you have a baby. Like, you develop this stuff. Come on.
I don't think 170 years of baseball is enough right now. But
come on.
Let me see. Sean. He said, we really need to certain people. I don't have high expectations of Jackson Holliday. Holliday hasn't proven anything to me. to this point in his career. I like Holliday. I think he will prove himself time and time again, but he hasn't proven anything to me yet. You know, a 240 average and a sub 700 OPS doesn't scream to me, you know, that's a guy who's going to help our ball club right now. I think he's going to be better. That hamate bones injury was awful timing for him because I think he was primed for a breakout year. But yeah, we really need to lower our expectations for when Jackson Holliday comes back up. He's not going to be what we think he's going to be. Look at Francisco Lindor. I don't get that. What do you mean, look at Francisco Lindor? Is Lindor having a bad year?
Hitting 188, so maybe.
Yeah, what's Corbin Carroll doing, though?
So Lindor has no home runs, no RBIs.
Wow.
Corbin Carroll hitting 327, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs.
Yeah. And also, Lindor didn't play. I don't think he played a spring game. I think he went straight from being injured to playing at the big league level. Let's see. Is Heston still hurt? I think he is.
He hasn't even started rehabbing yet.
Yeah, he hasn't. I mean, like, I think it was a pretty serious hamstring strain. And then on top of that, like, the bat really cooled off in spring training. And I don't think he's in the Orioles' plans right now. I think that it's like, hey, go back to triple.
Guys still keep getting hurt. You never know. You might need him.
That's true. Who was it? Josh Rodriguez, who they just signed a week and a half ago, made his Orioles debut today and had a walk in his only at bat.
This was a good at bat.
Yeah, it was. He had a couple foul balls, worked at the 3-2 before taking that walk. It was a really solid bat for him.
Hang on 1 second.
All right. But yeah, look the let's see, Randall. I'd find whatever way that costs the least amount of money and get rid of Eflin. Kramer starting in the minors is a disappointment. On Kramer's part, when is Kramer going to be the starter he can be? Kramer isn't in the minors because of who he is. I mean, he had 172 innings pitched last year. Kramer's in the minors because he was the 6th best starter for a 5-man rotation. And no matter how much we love Kramer and how much we like him and how good he can be, the other 5 guys that were ahead of him are better than he is. You know, they're all better than he is. And that's not to say that Kramer's bad. He's not there because he's Dean Kramer. He's there because he's not as good as the other 5 guys. And, you know, like if your team has a starting rotation that's so good that Dean Kramer can't be part of it, that's a great problem to have. You know, and like, look, we all thought that if Eflin got hurt again, like, one, anybody that's doing victory laps over being right that Eflin got hurt, shame on you. Like, shame on you, because nobody knew that he was going to need to have Tommy John surgery. If anything, you thought it was going to be his back that flared up again. Yeah, and like, we shouldn't be wanting somebody to get hurt so that we can be right about him. I was devastated to see that Eflin got hurt because he was 7 strikeouts and 3 2/3 innings after what he did this spring. He looked like a dude again. He looked like a dude. To see him get hurt, that sucked, man. I hope he does get another chance with the Orioles, just like I wanted Means to get another chance with the Orioles, because when the guy's healthy, he's really good. And I think Sean kind of responded to this. Randall, at this point, I think Kramer is who we thought he is. He's a decent back end of the rotation starter, and let's face it, but the expectations for him to be as high as they are if he wasn't the man.
The last part of the Machado
if he wasn't
trade,
the man standing for the Manny Machado trade. Well, look, he was a throw-in.
Right.
On that, like him and
Diaz was supposed to be the big thing, and the other kid, Rylan Bannon. And it was, what was it, Breivik Valero or something? Valera,
like that?
yeah.
Breivik Valera, Rylan Bannon.
Bannon was supposed to be good. God, that sucked.
Yeah, do you remember
that dude had so much power?
You remember when he hit like 12 home runs in 10 days?
Yeah.
I had him on this show when it was a 2-hour. I mean, it basically was like a 2-hour show still. But when it was like a scheduled 2-hour show, we had him on the show, and like he was awesome. He hit 12 home runs in 10 days, and he got traded back to the Dodgers organization.
Never did anything after that.
Yeah. But Dean Kramer, I mean, like, I hate to say that he was a throw-in because he was leading the minor leagues in strikeouts amongst pitchers when he got traded over here, and Dean Kramer is a big league pitcher. He's a quality big league pitcher, but he doesn't have the resume of Chris Bassett. He's not Trevor Rogers. He doesn't have the potential of Dean Kramer, and he doesn't have the electric arm of Shane Baz. So when Zach Eflin has proven that when he's healthy, Zach, you say he's a 4, I say he's a solid number 3 when he's healthy. So like, it's nothing against Dean. You are who you are. You're not a
Yeah.
minor league pitcher, that's for sure, but you're not one of the 5 best starters on this team. You are now because of an injury,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, Dean gets outs in the big leagues. I mean, that's a hard thing to come by.
yeah.
And he gets outs in the big leagues typically below a 4.5 ERA. Like I would say probably on 25 teams, he's a team's number 4 on 25 teams. Well, maybe not 25. 25, he's definitely a number 5. Definitely a number 5. And I would say at least 15, he could be a number 4.
I have no doubts he starts for the Yankees right now because of all the injuries that they have. He'd be starting for Toronto right now because of their injuries. I mean, you look at your own division. You know, he's the only team he probably doesn't start for at this moment outside of the Orioles is the Red Sox.
Yeah.
You know, like Dean Kramer's a quality big league pitcher. The Orioles is, and we're not, and it's also like Framber Valdez has been nuts this year, although he gave him 6 runs his last start.
If Dean wasn't like thrusted into being this team's number 3 in 2023, I don't think people hate him as much. Like he didn't say I have to be at number 3. Like they used him there. Mm-hmm. But Dean, I think he knows he's a number 4 or number 5. But when we, obviously with injuries and whatnot, they had to use him up there in 23 and 24. Like you had no choice. So he was going against guys that they were just better than him. And I mean, it happens. It happens. But we've seen him, when you don't need to throw him up there as a number 3 and what he does. I mean, what he did against the AL East last year was incredible. Mm-hmm. The guy likes big games, right? Big game Dean for a reason. But then he
gives up 6 runs to the Rockies.
Right, to the Rockies, yeah.
That's a good question. So did the Orioles win or lose the Eflin trade with the Rays?
I mean, Baumeister hasn't done anything, has he? Mm-mm. I mean, he's pitched well in the minors, but he hasn't called up yet. And then Eflin hasn't done much at all. Baumeister, let me pull up the MILB one, actually. And then let's see, Eflin, or Matt. What the hell was his last name? I just said it.
I can't remember.
Oh, darn it. This year, he's got a 5 ERA, Baumeister, in 9 innings. He's only got 3 strikeouts in Double-A. He's still 23, but we've got plenty of time. Plenty of time. I just said it earlier, and I can't remember it now. It's Matt something. God darn it. Why is this so old? What is that? Trade Orioles. Why are you pulling me 2014 trades? What the hell is that? There we go. Matt Horvath. He got released already. Matthew Etzel. You still there? Oh, I guess we lost you. Matthew Etzel is hitting 143 right now. No home runs and 2 RBIs. No stolen bases. Again, still 23 years old. But Etzel was the guy that had 50-some stolen bases here before we traded him and had, I think 15 home runs or something. Etzel looks stupid good. Stupid good. You went into your webcam, by the way.
No, I'm connected to this guy.
No, I'm saying it's coming through your webcam. You can hear it.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't sound good.
How about now?
There you go.
Okay. Let me tell you what just happened. I didn't realize that my mic had cut out. So I'm trying to talk about Zach Eflin, and you just kept thinking out loud as I was talking, and I'm sitting here. I could hear, and I'm like, why is he doing this? He's not letting me talk. What is happening? And then I looked down, and then you were like, "Are you still there? Do I still have you?" And I looked down, and my mic.
I just muted it again. There you go. Oh, wait a minute. I don't hear it yet. Plug that thing into the laptop.
Oh man, can you hear me now?
There you go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So what I was saying was, I was like, I don't know why we always have to talk about who won a trade. Like, the Rays got minor league players that they wanted, and the Orioles got a starter who made 9 starts for them down the stretch in a playoff run in 2024, and was their best starter, and then got the opening day start last year.
Mm-hmm.
the Orioles got what they were looking for out of that trade. And it sucks that he got hurt last year. It sucks that he's hurt again this year. But those guys aren't doing anything for the Rays right now. Are we going to ask a year from now if Shane Baz has a 3.75 ERA, but then the 5 prospects that we traded to the Rays are all playing at AAA and about to make their major league debuts who won the trade? Like, if the guy that you traded for is doing what you traded for him to do, then it doesn't matter. You both sides can win the trade, honestly. And AJ, to your point, Framber has been nuts, but we failed his entrance interviews.
He just got crapped on the other night.
Yeah, he gave up 10 hits, 8 earned runs in 5 innings. He's 1-1 with a 4.76 ERA.
Was it 7 earned through the second inning or something like that?
Yeah, he was
settled
bad.
down, but God, he got crushed.
His first 2 starts, he was really good. Whereas Ranger Suarez, his first 2 starts, he was terrible, and then was pretty good the other night for Boston.
I think both of them level out. Neither one of them are going to get to the point that they got to last year, but they'll both be fine. They'll both be
cool.
Fine.
Cool T-shirt, Zach. That is a cool shirt.
Yeah,
it is a cool shirt. I want.
It was on Fanatics. I actually bought that new hat too, and it can't. I just don't like it. I don't know. It just doesn't fit right. I can't buy fitted hats anymore. They don't. They're not like when we were younger and you bought a 7.5. It fit. Mm-hmm. Now, no, it doesn't.
I'm a 7 3/8, and it either fits perfectly, is a little too small, or a little too big.
Yeah,
it is rare that I buy a fitted hat. It's rare that I buy a fitted hat these days, and it fits perfectly every single time. I used to only wear fitted hats because they were perfect. I loved them, and now like I'm mostly a snapback these days.
Same.
But
I like the trucker hats. Got to be a trucker hat.
I gotcha. I really want the green. The green
the BP hat?
The hoodie. The green Be More hoodie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I really want that. And I saw there's a new Orioles Pitching Ninja shirt that's coming out that you can pre-order, and I talked myself out of it yesterday, but I'm going to order it. It's got the B. I'm pointing like you can see me pointing to the B on your shirt, but it's got the B on your shirt. Like, you know how they have the forward one and the backwards one on there? It's got that, and it's got Baltimore Baseball Club or something like that on the top. It either says that or just Baltimore, and then it's got the Pitching Ninja eyes in the circle right in the middle. It is. I gotta see if I can find it because it is such a cool.
Rob
shirt.
did a good job with the Pitching Ninja stuff. I looked at I wanted the BP hat in a low profile, and of course they don't make it. And like, I feel like if I don't get a low profile now, I feel like it sticks up. It's hard to do this on camera. It feels like it sticks up like 2 extra inches on the top of my head. So I just look like I'm wearing like half a cone, and then the hat finally starts going back down. It looks so stupid if it's not low profile.
I'm sharing this. This is the Pitching Ninja shirt.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
That shirt is so cool, man. I went to go order it yesterday, and I was like, see, Zach, I feel like if you want a shirt, you just order it.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, like, I think, is my wife gonna be pissed I spent this on this shirt and not something else? So I didn't order it, but then it's like, I'm going to buy this shirt. I don't know why I didn't just order it. I will own that shirt. My Orioles black and orange Pitching Ninja shirt is one of my favorite shirts that I own. Yeah. I will own that shirt, and I will wear it twice a freaking week. I almost said the F word. That shirt is so awesome. It probably be my favorite shirt of all time. It's a good one. Yeah, really good one. Today's show has been brought to you by County Sports Zone. We're well into spring sports season at the high school level. And remember that all year long you can find scores, schedules, and updates for every sport and every school all throughout the state at countysports.zone. Countysports.zone is proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. Also, today's show brought to you by Live Casino. There's still one weekend of... That is not the right read. Because there's not still one weekend of Mania remaining. So let me... Anyway, I'll find it later. But anyway, so the Orioles are playing the Diamondbacks. What are you looking to see from this team moving forward? Because we saw them put up 6 runs in back-to-back games. I think that's the first time they've done that all year, where they scored more than 5 in back-to-back games. They're starting to play better. The Giants aren't great. The White Sox aren't great, and we know now why they were able to sweep the Blue Jays, because the Blue Jays are decimated by injury. What do you need to see from the Orioles against the Diamondbacks in this series to make you believe that they're in a really good spot moving forward?
Just got to hit. The hit. I mean, their starting rotation right now is very good. They're sixth best in baseball with a 3 ERA. So they've only given up just 29 runs on the season as a starting staff. So, and this was going into today, obviously, but low walks. Less than 30 walks. About mid with Ks, but they're a team they're going to pitch well, even though they weren't expected to. They're going to pitch well. I'm trying to look at their hitting stats right now, see if they're actually hitting. And I think where are they at? I don't even see them on here. Why am I not seeing them?
I totally
they're about
forgot.
21st. They're hitting 223. They're hitting worse than us. We're hitting 243 as a team on the season, so they're hitting worse than us. Home runs, where are they at here? So they are worse than us when hitting home runs, which is a good sign. Maybe they won't blast it all over the ballpark again. So they've only hit 9 on the season. And then what is it here? 58 RBIs. That's not good, which is more than us, but still not good.
Well,
so,
the Orioles have 60 runs scored. How many runs have they scored?
Runs, where are they at here? 60. So, yeah. But that was going in today. I think they put up 6 today. So, a little bit better. They're walking. They only have 41 walks. So, they're not very patient. We have 60. So, and they're striking out just a touch less than us. So, basically, when they're putting the ball in play, they're getting some luck right now. Obviously, we haven't with the hard hits, but they're going to put it in play against our starters. We already know that. We're just going to attack our starters. And that's what scares me, is I just got to get to an early lead, man. When this team scores, they win. But when you're letting these other teams get up 2-3 runs in the 4th and 5th inning, you're not going to win. We just don't have that. It hasn't clicked yet for this all to kind of work late in the game. But
give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Yep.
All right.
I'll keep it rolling. So, I mean, I just want to see them kind of get after it. I mean, their bullpen has been okay. They're pitching to a 4.9, so if you can get the starters out of there early, either with chasing the pitch counts or whatnot, or just trying to get some runs on the damn board, which I think will kind of fare well for us. But it's just this team has struggled to score early. I'm just gonna pull some numbers for us here because hitting wise, I mean, it's been ugly watching the Orioles hit in the beginning of the order. I'll just go since April 1st. Let's see. Inning. First, second, and third inning. I want to see how many runs we've scored. Because I don't think it's much. We scored 8 runs coming into today. So this obviously doesn't bring up today's stats. But coming into today, they've only scored 8 runs, which is 25th in the league in the first 3 innings of a ball game. So if you got a team that's got good starters like Arizona does, and you're struggling to score, you got to find a way to put the ball in play early. We've got 32 Ks right now in the first 3 innings, which is 5th most in baseball. They got to cut down on that. The walks, I think they're not very good at either. I could be wrong. I'm sorry. Completely wrong. They have 15 walks in the first 3 innings, so they're ranked 3rd, but you just got to find a way to just chase their starters early. They've got some pretty decent arms that are throwing the ball well right now. You just got to find a way to just get them out of there. And I don't know how they're going to do it. I mean, the hitting, it seems hot or cold, but definitely have to find a way to just get these guys going early, which is Gunnar, Ward, Alonso. So if Alonso wants to break out, it's going to be a great time for that. But yeah, just got to find a way to score a run before the 3rd inning.
So, sorry about that. The dog was upstairs barking, and when you've got a 2-year-old who's sleeping, that told me I got to go quiet him down. So, which means we probably got to get out of here in a few minutes. I don't know if you touched on this, but you look at the lineup, and this is through yesterday's games because Baseball Reference won't update till 6 a.m. Yep. Ketel Marte, 197 with a 585 OPS. Geraldo Perdomo, 170 with a 582. Nolan Arenado, 167 with a 371. They've got I don't know who the hell Tim Tawa is, but 120 with a 393. Alec Thomas, 143. They've got 3 guys hitting above 197 on their team right now. One's
Corbin Carroll, though.
Yeah, one's Corbin Carroll, and he's had a good start. He's got 3 triples
Yeah.
already, by the way. But they
Well, a normal double for most people is him stretching it, at least taking that turn. Yeah, he's faster than the average human being.
Yeah, stupid fast.
Yeah.
Today's show is also brought to you by Leading Edge Auto Body. Your car is more than just a ride; it's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, customer satisfaction comes first. Their team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. And they make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery. Find out more at leadingedautobody.com. Wow, I read this at the same time as I read it last time. Anything else that you want to add going into this game? It's going to be Trevor Rogers going tomorrow. Is that correct?
It doesn't tell me. I'm only looking at the schedule though. It could be right. I haven't looked.
I think it's Rogers tomorrow, then Bradish, and then Boz. Which you got to like your chances of those are your three guys. What did you think about Boz in his last start? What have you thought about him overall to this point?
I mean, he's had a lot of soft contact. The command hasn't been there for him or Bassett right now, or even Bradish. So, I mean, maybe it's just a 3Bs right now, and it corrects itself. But get the command going. The stuff is electric. I don't think none of that needs to be downgraded. Like, what we were told about the stuff is there. He just can't. It hasn't been able to locate it yet. And I feel like sometimes when he does locate it, it's just a mishit is beating him right now. So, for the most part, I think he's okay. I think he's going to finish out how we kind of expected him to be a sub-4 ERA. I'm not going to say he's going to throw like to a 3 or anything like that, but I think a sub-4 ERA for him in his first year in this ballpark is fine. Hopefully it's like below a 3.8, but it might not be. I don't know. But I think he's okay. I think he's on track to showing that he's getting a little bit better each start, which is fine for me. I just need him good against Boston, Toronto, Tampa. I need against the East. Beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. Not everybody's going to be able to pitch amazing every single start. I mean, think about it. Most of these guys get 30 starts, and a good season, they're only getting, 17 to 20 qualities out of a really good arm. So, I mean, most guys are getting like 10. So, if you get 15 qualities, half of his starts, I think they're in good shape. So, I think, honestly, just keep trending in the right direction.
If you go 5-6 innings and give up 3 runs, like your ERA is gonna be 4.50 at the end of the year, fine. But if you're giving up 3 runs in 5 or 6 innings every time out, you're giving this offense an opportunity to win you a ball game. And that's really
the
all
thing
I care about.
Everything's been magnified because the offense hasn't done what they were supposed to. So every little run that just even if it's just one run on the bullpen, like it's magnified. One little error that doesn't bother another team, it's magnified here because the offense hasn't been hitting. So if you get them going, a lot of these things kind of sort itself out for the rest of the year.
Who's Jermaine?
Jeremiah.
I know. Jeremiah Jackson. But no, yeah, like that, and that's been it. They've scored 2 runs or less. What did you say? 6 times in 15 games this season. So the offense getting going is huge for this team. It's going to be Kramer tomorrow. They have TBD, and he did pitch. He pitched really well, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday this past week. Yeah. So it's going to be him tomorrow because Rogers is listed. Rogers is listed as the starter for Tuesday. So I guess
going down. Povich.
Have they announced? They haven't moved Eflin to the 60-day IL yet, have they?
No.
And I think
Kramer's already on the 40-man.
Right, but I think that once they move him, Kramer can.
He's not taking a roster spot out.
No, but so
I think it's going to be Povich. He just pitched, so you don't need him for another 4 days.
Yeah, that would be a quite the how do you do? Like, hey, you just dominated.
They did it to Brandon Young.
In 2 outings. Yeah, yeah. I mean, but Povich did it over 12 1/3 innings in 2 outings. I don't know, man. Rackett. That's right. That's a.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
Oh,
get him out of here.
Did you have an issue with him being put in the game in a close ball game on Friday night?
Did they have anybody else? Without going to Nunez that early in the game or somebody like that?
I was working the restaurant that at the moment, so I didn't even see him pitch.
I think it was like the 5th or 6th inning.
I think it was the 6th.
Yeah, I don't want Nunez out that early. I don't want Rico Garcia out that early. It's like, do you really have anybody else left? I don't think so. But they also maybe wanted to see what they had out of him, and I think he's seen enough.
Yeah. I saw somebody say like Elias loves his guys and he wanted to bring this guy over and so he's gonna let him pitch come hell or high water. You know, this team chemistry be damn whatever. It's like, no, dude. They just put an arm out there. He was on the team. You wanted a lefty there, and you wanted to see what he had, and
Yeah.
it didn't work out. Now you DFA him. You still won the series. You know, it's all about winning series. You know, it would have been nice to get back-to-back sweeps, but you still won 5 of 6. You're playing a lot better baseball right now. I just want to see them continue this upward trend. The hitting looks to be getting more consistent. They came up with some solid clutch hits the last couple of days. Mayo to me looks a lot better, and he's one of the top ranked defensive third basemen in the league right now, which is shocking to me. So. And Calzer looks like he's taking better at bats too. We'll see.
Are we getting Andrew Kittredge back this week? He hasn't pitched since the 8th. That's 4 days. Unless maybe he pitched tonight. I don't know. Did he pitch tonight?
I have
look here real quick. Did they play him right now? They just finished. Let me see if he pitched tonight. Brandon Young, Coar. No, he didn't pitch tonight. So that's tomorrow's 5 days.
Yeah. I mean, is there any news on him?
No, he was fine. He threw the ball well. He gave up one earned on April 1st in .2 innings, and then he went another inning on the 5th. Just gave up a hit, had 2 Ks, and then went another inning on the 8th and had 2 Ks, no hits. So he's faced 11 batters, given up 3 hits, 1 run, and 5 Ks. So. Why is he not pitched? I don't know. Maybe he's ready. Be great to have him back. Because the way this bullpen's pitching right now, you take Tyler Wells kind of out of that 6-7 role. You put Andrew Kittredge there, and then you got Nunez, Wolfram, Enrico Garcia, Helsley. Now maybe you don't have to go back-to-back nights on Helsley anymore, which could be great for down the line. But maybe we might start getting a little healthier, even though we had some stupid injuries. But I did see somebody ask about Adley. What was the severity in that? He's getting an MRI tomorrow. I don't like hearing that.
They got the MRI today.
Was it today?
Yeah, they got the MRI today. And they said that they were encouraged by what they saw.
Okay.
They said that Adley hurt the ankle on his first hit on Friday. He stayed in the game. He got 2 more hits the rest of the game. Then he said when he got up the next day, the ankle blew up on him. I'm of the mindset, if he played the rest of the game and it didn't really start bothering him until the next day, I think he's back as soon as his 10 days are up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you're going to.
What it was retroed, right? So it was like, 2 days or something beforehand? Or is it one?
It's 1 day. I think it's
okay.
So they IL'd him yesterday. They can do it retroactively to whatever Friday's date was. Yeah,
okay.
the 9th. Yeah. So, I'm sorry, the 10th. I expect Adley to be back. But somebody, where is this comment? I just saw this comment, and I don't like it.
Kittredge's velo?
No, not that. I didn't even see that. Somebody said something about how they've got to stop batting Mayo and Calzer. Right here. Nope. Come on. I would like for Mayo and Calzer not hit back-to-back. It's very rough. Well, they hit back-to-back yesterday. They went a combined 3 for 8 with 3 RBI and a run scored. And then they hit back-to-back today. And they went 2 for 7, but with 2 RBIs.
Yeah.
Combined.
Now I'm looking at so on the 8th, talking about the comment about his velo. On the 8th, he had a 95-mile-an-hour sinker 4 times in that at bat. 89-mile-an-hour slider, 94-mile-an-hour sinker, 94.9-mile-an-hour sinker on that strikeout. 91-mile-an-hour slider there, 89-mile-an-hour slider, 95.6 sinker. I don't think his velo is down. Unless I don't remember him throwing harder than that.
I mean, that's the other thing, though. We haven't heard anything. I mean, for all we know, he tweaked something.
God, don't say that.
You know,
Enough of that crap.
I mean, would it really surprise you?
Just
at
get
this point?
freaking healthy.
Yeah, but look, the team is playing well right now. They're starting to hit. They're throwing the ball over the plate. They're getting a lot of strikeouts. They're getting a lot of outs from their rotation and from their bullpen. I mean, you get 27 outs a game anyway, but they're also getting a lot of outs without giving up a lot of runs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm encouraged by what I've seen. It doesn't seem like it, but very quietly, the rotation put together a really solid week, as we talked about earlier in the show. You know, just keep doing what you're doing. Go out and win ball games. This is a soft part of your schedule. You know, you've got games coming up against Arizona. Then you said you go to Cleveland, you go to Kansas City. You should be able to be better than both of those teams. And you got to play Boston at the end of the month. That's really, and Boston got off to a terrible start. They're in last place. If I'm, you know, they started 1-8.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like you have an opportunity here to rattle off some wins, get yourself in a nice position, and then with this team, build that confidence. You know, it doesn't matter who you play. You play who you play. You can't do anything about that. Get the confidence, get that momentum building, and then
when you're looking at the
June.
beginning of May now, remember we thought that was going to be a really hard month? Well, the Yankees have lost 5 straight, right? So maybe that's not as hard as we thought. Now it is, but I'm being facetious here. The Marlins have lost a bunch. Athletics are bad right now. Then you play the Yankees again. Again, they've been losing a bunch. Nationals are terrible. The Rays are decent right now. The Tigers, terrible right now. And the Blue Jays, terrible right now. So maybe May's not as strong as we thought. Just like maybe April wasn't as easy as we thought.
Well,
you never know what you're going to get out of anybody in April. You really don't.
You don't. And Pittsburgh is a lot better than I think we expected them to be.
Yeah.
I think we both thought that they would be good. They were better than I expected them to be.
Mm-hmm.
They're a better ball club. They can hit. They can hit. Ryan O'Hearn is having a great start to the season for them, and they've been able to pitch. Yeah, he always plays well the first couple of months, has a little bit of a swoon there towards midseason, and starts getting down the stretch a little bit for him.
Yeah.
But what I will, Miami, they're 8-8, but they started like 3 or 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think they're going to be a pretty decent team this year. Them and Pittsburgh both are going to surprise some people.
Yeah, well, Pittsburgh they've given up. Their starting rotation's given up 1 home run this year, 1 home run. So, all right, that's going to do it for us here on the Bat Around. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. Without you, we don't have a show. Thank you to all of our loyal listeners, viewers, friends. Without you, we 100% do not have a show. Zach, anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Score runs.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, score some runs. Done the last
Score
2
some
days.
damn runs.
Let's keep the good vibes rolling. Till next time.